Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, and we're almost at the end. I thought the season was like dragging, but now that it's almost over, I'm like, damn, that was kind of fast. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Y'all already know how it goes. Some people have been saying YouTube hasn't been notifying them. The only thing I could suggest is like unclicking and then clicking again, or maybe resubscribing. I don't know why it's happening, but hopefully you get this notification. Let's get into the review. All right, everyone is still talking about the, picture situation with Dominica. And there's a scene with Tamara and Brent where Tamara is basically saying it's Dom's fault that the picture is out there. It's Dom's fault that it happened the way that it did. And it wasn't meant to be malicious, the fact that everyone was talking about it.
I think it was just like everyone's frustration all at once of like Dominica being able to dish it and then not take it.
So if it wasn't meant to be malicious, why bring up the fact that she can dish it and not take it? Because in as much as I was even annoyed with Dominica always piping up, at least in her defense, it was about how people were treating each other in their couples. And she didn't like how people were taking advantage of their partner, mistreating their partner. Like, it wasn't that kind of, perspective. Whereas what happened to Dom was an attempt to slut shame her. What had nothing to do with the process, had everything to do with being vindictive on Olivia's side. So Tamara, I'm just like, girl, shut up. Girl, shut up. It was absolutely done with malicious intent. Whether or not you want to agree to it, because that would mean you were also being malicious, that was the intent. Since this whole thing was brought up by Cody in probably the worst way possible, I still stand behind the fact that I'm glad that he brought it up, because it seemed like nobody else was going to pull her aside to do it. Simply for the fact that y'all could have done it so many times before the dinner party. So I don't want to hear anybody, oh, I was gonna pull her, but you didn't. Okay, you didn't. And Cody did. But he decides that he's gonna buy Selena apology flowers?
Is my way of saying sorry. Like, I do mean it. I did.
Sorry for making a mess. Hope you can forgive me, Cody.
I get it. You put her in a compromising position, but she's not the one who needs an apology. Great that you apologized. Awesome. Cute. Whatever. She was not at the brunt end of, what had happened in the situation. That's like, I hate giving analogies. Sometimes I have to do it like social justice, because I know people are going to feel ways about it. But that's like if something happens to the LGBT community or the Black community and somebody not in the community accepts the apology. It's not for you. It's not for you. If somebody says something racist to me and one of you subscribers were like, oh, it's okay, I accept your apology on behalf of Elaine. No, that's not how it works. So I was just like, what is this scene right here? This is not growth to me, because really, if you would have done your apology to Selena, went and knocked on Dominica's door and said, you know what? That was absolutely despicable the way that it happened. I apologize for embarrassing you. I apologize for, you not being able to get ahead of it. That would have been growth. That would have been growth to me. This is not growth, Cody. Dominica is still determined to find out why this whole situation is even happening. So she decides to confront, what's her name? Olivia. You see how irrelevant she is? She decides to confront Olivia, and Olivia at first is like, it was on the internet, like whatever, it's on the internet. And eventually she closes the door on her and is like, I'm not dealing with you.
My friends found them on Google.
And to be honest, I completely forgot about it until last night.
At the cocktail party. I don't need you to come to my house and yell at me. It's fine. Go have fun.
I'm yelling, am I?
Jackson, at this point, was peak irritating. This was the height of my irritation for Jackson, because how can you still find excuses to dismiss this woman's behavior? from a man who I don't mean to bring up his trauma. I don't mean to bring up his mom's DV situation, but from somebody who experienced violence against his mother, to have to see another person inflicting harm on somebody else and it doesn't. So because she wasn't physically harmed, you don't resonate with that? And I get it. In the beginning, Dom, with the glass situation, that was never right. And I'm never even going to excuse that, ever. The way that your wife has gone about things is also wrong. And she's been holding on to it, making snide comments, not accepting apologies, making backhanded, just all kinds of... Jackson, are you okay? Let me move on before I just go off the rails. So fast forwarding to the commitment ceremony, Dominica and Jack are first. And although things are good between the two of them, obviously the photo situation has her frazzled. So Olivia is asked directly, what was the reason? Like, what, why? And just like a deer in headlights, she did not know what to do.
I sent them to Selena.
Why did you do that?
Why?
We need to know why you would do that.
Because I don't know.
So if it meant nothing, because that's her excuse, it meant nothing. She didn't think anything of it. It's on the internet for everybody. She has all the excuses under the sun. If it was on the internet for people to find, let the people find it. That's number one. If it meant nothing to you, then you should have left it there and not said anything to anybody, because it means nothing, right? And number three, if it was not meant to be gossip or whatever, why even send it to the next person? And I'm even looking at Selena too. If what Olivia is saying is correct and she only sent it to Selena, how the hell did the rest of the brides and husbands know? And not only know, see. And all y'all are shady at this point. Olivia goes on to say that she believes that Dominica's only upset because she didn't have grasp on what was going on. Like, she didn't have control of the group for once. And it's like, that's not, oh man, that's not the problem. That's not the issue. Even, what's his name now? John? Even John was like, okay, since this is a room of adults that seem to be acting like toddlers, let me break it down to you in a language that y'all can understand to prove that this is not okay.
This group is looking at the photo, talking about the photo, and then it was brought up in a dinner party situation where she was ambushed by. And that is a very real issue, and it's not okay.
Even after all of that, clearly the situation has made them stronger. The enemy of my enemy is my friend at this point. So even though they were at odds at some point in this process, it seems like being faced with adversity has really brought Dom and Jack back together in a very, very intense way, just very bonded together. So they decide to stay. Next is Selena and Cody. And they share that the uncle's revelation back at the homestays really hit home for Cody.
I don't give a lot in terms of expressing myself. And so I don't want to get to his age and think, yeah, I wish I'd done that.
That's great. You're aware of the pattern now, so you can start, working to change it.
Yeah.
John, I think it was John. Do I have a thing for John? Why am I always quoting John? So John, I think, maybe, brought up, now I'm really questioning myself. Was it John? I don't think it was. One of the experts, possibly John, brought up, is the attraction between y'all, it's probably Mel. Is the attraction between y'all mutual now? And Selena says, yes, it is. Cody also co-signs. I do believe that his attraction for her has grown, but I'm still not believing that it's equal on both sides. But that's what they said, and they both decided to stay, so we're moving on. Ella and Mitch are next, and although Mitch has very strong feelings for Ella, they're not strong enough to move to Melbourne.
Could you see yourself living there?
Oh, man.
No.
I don't see myself living in Melbourne, to be completely honest.
We sort of established that, we do long distance for, at least a few months. while we work things out. But we've both never done long distance before.
I am of the belief that long distance can work if both sides are determined to put their absolute best effort to know that this is their person and they're going to do whatever it takes to make it work. Even if it's short-term, long-term, I actually have seen it work, have seen relationships flourish, and obviously the end goal is to be together. Now, if you want to be long distance forever, that's a different conversation. But I've seen it work with people who want to try. Problem is, there's been a pattern with Mitch where Mitch doesn't like to try. Mitch doesn't like putting in effort. Mitch doesn't like being challenged. So that's not going to last. And even the little fortune teller lady, she said the same thing. And if y'all believe in that, then what more signs do you need? They were never going to work. They were always doomed from the beginning. Also doomed from the beginning was Tamara and Brent, who were already established as friends, in my opinion, but somehow they decided to stay at the end of this week. I was very confused by that. Ella and Mitch also decided to stay for the next week. But Sam and Al, who were also in the friend zone, well, at least that's what was supposed to happen. I guess Al didn't really get the memo.
I've never caught feelings before. I did want to be more than friends.
So you're feeling a little sad?
Yeah.
He finally did come to the realization that the feelings are not mutual, so he respected Samantha's decision to leave, and so he wrote leave, and so they left, right? Last but not least is Olivia and Jackson. I have John written down again. Damn, is it a subconscious attraction? Girl, are you okay? Oh my gosh. John immediately asks how Jackson views the recent drama that's been going on.
It wasn't malice. It wasn't to hurt your feelings. It's come out. It got shown, all right? Like, obviously, that's probably bad.
It's probably bad. It's probably bad.
You're a simp. Jackson is a simp. I'm so sorry. Like, from a person-to-person relationship, seeing how Olivia has gone on would be enough for me to be like, it's good. I'm off it. I'm done. And so the fact that you guys y'all aren't even legally married. You really could walk away without any consequences. And you still want to not only stay, but defend her? I get it. You stick beside your partner, but not when your partner is volatile. So then you have Olivia, who feels like she's going to crumble under the drama. Like, I'm on the verge of tears constantly because of this drama. The drama that you started. The situation that you curated. You're the victim here? Okay, that was interesting. She says that the photo was none of her business and that sharing it was honestly just a passing thought. Like she didn't even think about it at all. And so Alessandra was like, well, you did share that you have a history of holding grudges. And that, whether you want to admit it or not, is probably heavy-handed influence on why you did what you did, and maybe you should work on yourself.
Maybe there's a little room there for some self exploration and reflection, maybe, and for a little human empathy.
Sure, I'll take the self-reflection. As far as empathy, I just don't have it. It's just not in me.
You know the people who lack empathy are psychopaths, right? That's not even me just saying that. That's like facts. Just so you know. And Jackson has the audacity to be rubbing her arm this entire time as if she's some fragile bird. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The whole couple, throw them out. I cannot stand them. Anyways, whew. That's it. I'm done with the rants. This is the last week. There's episodes Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then on Sunday is the finale, if I'm not mistaken. So our last week together, Australians, even though season's over, don't leave, okay? I'm sure we can find something else to connect on, okay? I'm sure we can find something. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.